Hello everybody, Susan here. This is week 3. We are going to be covering air quality in our stables this week. Before getting into that subject material, I wanted to point out that we are going to be continuing our discussions, but this week we're actually going to be moving into the graded discussions. So I'm going to show you make sure that you know where to find that. So under tools, under our discussions, instead of working in your unit discussions, scroll all the way down to our graded discussions. So for both this week and next week, we are going to be covering graded discussion number 1. So don't participate in your unit discussions, participate only in the graded discussions. Now, to make sure that everybody's aware of the assessment for this portion of the course, if you go under content, under assessments, scroll down to graded discussions, and then you will see a number of tabs that describe this part of the grading procedure. So as I said, this week and next week is graded discussion number 1, which covers air quality and bedding. Now with the instructions, you will see a bit more detail. Basically for this week and next week, the expectation is that you post at least 5 postings. So this means 1 original message to your group and then 4 meaningful replies to others. So you are allowed to, of course, post more often if you wish. So more original postings and more meaningful replies, but that's the expectation for the graded portion. And so, like I said, this is this week and next week. Now, in terms of the content, this week we are working through Unit 3, which is air quality. And some points came up last week about ventilation and air distribution. One point I'd like to make out is I pointed out in a couple of discussions that with horses, we haven't, historically with the horse industry, we haven't paid a lot of attention to ventilation or design of our barns. We focus a lot on turnout, which is great, but if our horses are housed indoors for a period of time, it's really important that we look at the quality of air that they're facing for many hours of the day. If you think about it, the difference between most horses and other livestock species is horses can live out a longer lifespan than other livestock. We also, to some extent, expect them to be athletes. So depending on the discipline, they are expected to perform at a very high level of athletic performance. And also we generally, in some cases, we expect them to be reproductively sound into their later years. So if you look at the number of years that horses can be exposed to an environment of very poor air quality, it can really have a big impact on their ability, both their welfare, which of course is important, and also their ability to perform at whatever task we're expecting to perform at. And the last point is we as horse owners can spend a lot of time in the barns mucking stalls day after day. So I want you also to consider the quality of air that you're experiencing year after year. And of course, in these days, we've been exposed to the use of masks for a variety of reasons. But I want you to look at if you muck out stalls year after year, have you been wearing a mask for that reason? Have you seen others? And if not, will you consider that in the future? So these are all points to consider as we continue in our discussions. So I want everybody to have a great week, and I look forward to the discussions.